Da, 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 da. Hey, da, 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 da. Hey, da, 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 da. Ladies and gentlemen, KocoSports.com proudly presents Wrestle AM. It's half wrestling show, half morning show, pretty much all BS. And of course, you got the Koco crew here holding it down live. Yours truly, sexiest man on all Evident Wrestling Radio. That's right. Boom Boom here, quarantined in the room. The RVA, Richmond, Virginia, of course, joined there way across the pond in Tokyo, Japan, up on the second floor of his studio apartment. Dave Koco, what's up, brother?
Nothing much, man. Just living the good life, man. We're gonna do an AEW review. Try to get in the swing of these things. We're like me and Boom Boom. We're like, yeah, we have plenty of time to do podcast now. Oh, there's no wrestling, but there was wrestling. NXT. We were gonna do an NXT review, but there was no point. It was just a magazine show, so it was done. It was done well, but nothing worth
Yeah,
mentioning.
can I just say I don't blame him? Yeah, can I just say I don't blame him for doing that? And I'm glad they put something on the air. Can I just get that one out of the way?
Yeah, I mean it's okay. I don't know. It's a tough call. It's a tough call, tough times. But to me, it was cool. But I was like, I'm just gonna stick with AEW. So yeah. All right, Booms. We're going old school. I'll let you go first down in the comments below. And by the way, we had some old school guys pop up in the YouTube. Forsaken popped up.
Oh,
Loved you,
good
Forsaken.
God, I wonder how Forsaken's doing, man. I haven't heard from him in a long time.
All right, so we're going to go old school Forsaken style. Win, loss, or tie. What did you think of the show? Booms, I'll go first. Sorry, I'm so greedy. Booms, you go first, and then after we give our win-loss ties, we'll break it down segment by segment. High five
All right.
after high five.
Well, I'm going to give the show a win. I didn't realize how desperately that I need this, how a lot of wrestling fans and how, a lot of the country needed this until it actually hit the air. Because, I mean, a lot of questions were, well, WWE tried some, shows at the Performance Center without fans. It looked kind of awkward, and plus, you really going to advance all these storylines? Are you going to do all, basically lose all these pops, all this genuine crowd reaction, this big stuff, to do a show, and just kind of blow it all right there, with no fans. And that was something I was actually kind of questioning. But once the show actually literally just started, like within the first 60 seconds, I was like, dude, with the way my fucking week has been, with the way everything's going right now, I desperately just needed this. Uh, you know, it was a breath of fresh air, and maybe I'm hypocritical, but I think I'm kind of glad that AEW kind of, I don't want to say defied the rules, but walked that fine line and still gave us a good show. It was so, I mean, just for 2 hours, I was able to take my mind off world events, and that was just something that I desperately needed because at that point I had worked for 6 days straight, and you can imagine, with the coronavirus coverage is like in your area, I couldn't get away from it because I worked in that field in media and just could not get away from it no matter how hard I tried. And just to have those 2 hours just meant the world to me. So thumbs up, give it a win.
I've said this a million times, and I'll say it a million times more. I was trained in Marine Corps infantry, different classes. It is insane how important escapism is. It is very, very important. And, I was super happy that AEW ran the show. Outside of the circumstances, that they faced, let's just call the wrestling show right down the middle. I still give it a win. I really
Yeah.
enjoyed it. I liked the camera angles. And then here's the thing. I think AEW did better at this than WWE because WWE is a billion-dollar company and doesn't realize how to hide stuff anymore. Like back in the day, Vince was really good at hiding stuff, but now he doesn't have to because he's so successful. Where the AEW crew they're from the independents, most of them. And most of them are like, no, like just the way the camera was shot, the way they put guys out in the crowd, the way they made it was just, you can tell that the AEW guys have been on the indies and have had their back against the wall, where WWE used to have that hunger, but now become a cake eater. It's like, oh, okay, well, like, we'll just do the show the same way. And AEW is like, no, 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 no. We got to change things up. So I give it a huge win. I was entertained throughout this show. And not only that, but two big surprises, maybe more, but two giant surprises as far as the internet news goes. And with no crowd, I thought they did a really, really great job. I enjoyed it a lot because the returns without that huge pop is kind of hard. You know what I mean? But we had two returns. One of them, by the way, the graphic is just it's just the Exalted One or whatever the fuck they call them staring right into our souls. Booms. I might have chose the wrong graphic because you don't see the graphic until it goes up on YouTube. Dude, just imagine the assault, whatever fucking one, just staring a hole right through you. That's what I got to stare at. I'm like, I will serve the Dark Order. I will serve the Dark Order. Overall, I give it a huge win. I enjoyed it, and you can tell they had that grit, that fight of being on the indies, which
Yeah,
WWE was lacking.
you know what this reminded me of? I don't know if you've ever done this, but this is gonna be a shocker to some people. But I actually took theater in high school, and then even when I was taking literature courses back in when I was in college, I used to have to watch be like a movie, but it was like a stage performance. It was like the Royal Shakespeare Company would be performing Midsummer's Night Dream, and essentially it would be like the stage performance, but it was shot on video, so like a movie, and it played, but it was like a movie of the stage performance. I hopefully I'm not confusing people here when I say that. I hope everybody gets what I'm trying to say, but this is what this reminds me of. This basically kind of reminded me of this was shot and done like a stage play, but in this case it was put on television. The first thing we do, we have Cody in the ring from Daly's Place in Jacksonville, Florida. That's it's at the arena in Jacksonville that the Khan family owns. They had the whole setup there except for the chairs for obvious reasons, but they had everything set up. Had Cody in the ring, spotlight on him, and he talked about he never thought how small the world was, but he's asking for something big together tonight to stand together. He's talking about, of course, about COVID-19, but he's also talking about the Elite's war with the inner circle, about how we got to put these little differences, aside. A lot of this anger, all this stuff is uncalled for. We need to come together, kind of get, again, real world event and kayfabe together. Of course, he brings out Matt Jackson and Kenny Omega. They agree. Okay, yeah, we got your back. We're with you. He asks Hangman, are you going to stand with us? Hangman comes out holding a drink, of course. I love the new tweaks to Hangman Page's character, by the way. Let me just put that one out there for the record. Raises his glass, nods his head. It's like, wow. And then says, but you know what? I feel, won't know if there's going to be a Dynamite next week. But we're going to go. If we're going to go out, we're going to go out with a bang here. I feel alive. Let's start Dynamite. So they turn on the lights. Everything else, like with the exception of fans, everything else is done like would normally be done for Dynamite, and they start the show. And this is the moment, Coco, when I said, Jesus Christ, I needed this. So I think it was a good promo. I think it was, you kind of took the World War events, you took kayfabe, you could start weaving it together, make it more relatable, and plus with everything being closed down, just the fact that these guys are going to try to give us a hell of a show with nobody there to feed off of, nobody to kind of gauge, okay, am I doing good, am I doing bad? This was all put together, and I think this was just absolutely amazing, and this is exactly why I needed it. And come to find out, Coco, everybody who was there that night, everybody was there on a voluntary basis. So,
Yeah, that's the way it should be, sir. Uh,
man, I know it should be. In fact, they were told they would get paid for it regardless. They were going to get paid for it, if they showed up or not. No consequences if they didn't, and they still, I think, had a pretty good turnout amongst their locker room. So,
yeah,
oh my
definitely.
God, a lot to unpack there. Coco, go ahead, just you go ahead and share your thoughts with the open here. But
Um,
this was just beautiful.
I do like the fact that it was volunteer. I love the fact that people still showed up. I know a lot of people, especially on the Twitter machine, were attacking because Jake is older and a couple of the athletes are older, but they made their own decision. I don't know. Maybe it's because I've lived a couple dangerous lifestyles, but some people run towards the radiation. Some people run towards the bang. Some people, you know what I mean? And I know it's just entertainment, but still, it's up to them. Don't take away someone's opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I I just think it's amazing. I love the fact that they got paid no matter what, and it's volunteer. That's the classy thing to do. A lot of NBA organizations, a lot of sports organizations are doing that. Too bad shitty insurance companies are not. Insurance companies, you're the fucking devil. And you're fucking being. Everyone knows you're the fucking devil. You are fucking horrible human beings. Anyway, back to the good people. A lot of the professional sports, a lot of the entertainers are paying their people no matter what, which is very respectful. The fact that it's volunteer is completely, Because here's the thing, fucking my job ain't paying me. They're like, go, you can go home. All right, we'll see you in April. All right, cool. So it's very classy, and I'm not bitter at all. I'm not, but it's so fucking classy. You know what I mean? And people showing up there, how serious is this? I think we'll find out in history. I don't think it's fair to say how serious this is at this point.
Yeah.
But then go in there. And then this promo might live on for a really long time because he did something that his father was famous for. And Boom Boom touched on it. It's the combining a storyline with real life. I really fucking loved that. And the Rhodes, even Dustin, all the Rhodes family is very good at that. And to me, when you can combine real life and story and blend it, that makes fucking pro wrestling at its best. And this is probably one of the best promos forever. And just like you, Boom Boom, as soon as fucking they came out, not only that, but they were even shooting on stuff that we thought. Like, we wanted the real Kenny Omega. I mean, how long have we been begging for that? You know what I mean? Especially me.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking have tears in my eyes every time I fucking see that man. It's like, you're fucking Kenny Omega. Start acting like it. And then I led by Cowboy. Cowboy, man. Fucking, I tear companies apart when they fuck up. It's kind of my douchey fucking hobby. But you have to praise them. How fucking amazing a job have they done with Cowboy? Just amazing. But overall, I thought the opening segment was there, and I'm not a pyro guy, but as soon as they phased out, had pyro and had people there, I fucking marked out and was excited, and I love the fact that they had people ringside. It added so much to it. You know what I mean? You had people, you had heels
Yeah.
betting, you had faces, you had the Colt Cabana. It was just overall, it was amazing, and it was entertainment. And I give credit to WWE after September 11th. I give credit to WWE for going to the Middle East. But AEW, I'm giving you credit because you entertained us when it was against your safety and a time where we fucking needed it more than ever. All right, Booms. Overall, I give it a huge win. Let's break it down after what
Yeah,
happened
break
next,
it
sir.
down. Let me just touch on here. This kind of flows into the next segment here, which is something you just brought up. They go to, it was on commentary, it was Jim Ross, Excalibur, and Taz. And of course, Tony Schiavone. Does Tony Schiavone not know? Tony Schiavone is handling all the interviews. He was down ringside. First person he interviews is MJF, who again is completely in character, saying he's not wrestling tonight because he doesn't have to because winner's purse. It's just it's small potatoes to what compared to what he should be making, but he was going to be there all night, and then he basically is saying that he's going to start. He's betting on the matches with Shawn Spears, and him and Shawn Spears have got wads of cash. And then what I loved about it was, and Siobhan was like, are you gambling on this? And he's like, yeah, yes, I'm placing some bets here. And it's like, you want in? And then as soon as he cuts away, it's like, well, how much are we talking here? And I just love that. That just little bitty thing. They had the heels. This was old school. They had the bad guys on one side of the ring. You had MJF and Wardlow, Shawn Spears, Tully Blanchard, Jake Roberts, and Lance Archer all on one side. Over on the other side, you had SCU, you had Joey Janela, you had Sonny Kiss, you had Colt Cabana. Maybe there's a few more that I'm somebody that I'm missing, and I apologize because I feel like everybody deserves some credit for being out there on that night. I really love that opening. They tried to, make it something to where they weren't wrestling to a completely empty building, and then MJF stayed in character the whole show, just ribbing and just cutting, just joking on everybody.
I love the
And I
fact
was,
that MJF,
you know,
when he was caught doing it, he was like, "This is illegal. We'd never bet on it." And the second thing that I love about MJF promo was like, he's like, "I'm gonna let the undercards go. They need the money." I just thought that was fucking classic. We're getting a little too positive around here. This is a review show. This is KocoSports. We're cranky old men. First negative, and you just playing off what you said. Taz or JR? Not both. I love when Eric Bischoff, JR, Taz, they're the same fucking person. Let's be completely honest. I'll just call when it's the masked dude, Excalibur. I think I apologize. Him. The fucking thing is, I watched him on Indies a lot, and I still fucked up his name. WWE guy, because Taz and JR are the same person, and fucking Tony Schiavone. I like it because it has an indie guy, a WWE guy, and a WCW guy. You know what I mean? It has that feel. But two WWE guys, it's like, what the fuck? You're serving the same purpose. I don't know. My biggest fear, I love AEW, and I love where it's at right now. My biggest fear is it becoming Dixie Carter's TNA. And two WWE guys in a booth that are literally doing the same exact fucking role is ridiculous. Mm-hmm. All right, back to you, Booms. Just thought I'd bring down the fucking hype party. They were a little too positive.
Yeah, I know. I was like, hey, man, this is really good. This is going to be positive. And it's gone.
It wouldn't be us if we weren't cranky old men.
Well, first match we have the Best Friends versus the Lucha Brothers. I think it was a pretty good back and forth. It's exactly what it needed to be. I thought, wow, it's like, how are they going to do this? Well, one of the things that they did was they started, making a lot of high impacts. When they kicked, you could hear the kick. They were talking trash. I love that. I mean, they're just trying to fill the background. MJF is just betting. It's like, yeah, Chuck Taylor, you're in shape. I don't care what anybody says. You're in great shape for a potato. Just a little bit, just jabs like that. I think it really added. There was a spot where Orange Cassidy was on commentary, and God, he just wouldn't shut up. No, he was like he almost fell asleep on commentary. He did basically go out and do his hand in the pockets dive.
Yeah, no, the commentary thing was kind of cute and funny.
They tried to set up for Strong Zero, but it got cut off. Pentagon low blow Trent. They dumped Chucky T to the outside. They hit the MDK on Trent. They get the win. The Lucha Brothers, and they actually went pretty long. They went about 14 minutes here, so it wasn't just like some 5-minute little jaunt. No, they went all out. And I think it was a really great match. And you want to talk about the match real quick?
Yeah, sorry, I gotta unmute just so that you don't hear background noise when you're talking, sir. But yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. I know this is gonna sound a little bit nuts, a little bit crazy, if you will. A, I enjoyed the match a lot. B, it was entertaining. C, fucking the tag teams are amazing. All right, Booms, slap me in the face because it's almost too much of good cake. Is there too many good tag teams? We're like, because every time we see these amazing tag team matches, it's cool, but the record should mean something. I think in the future, they need to do something about padding those records. You know what I mean? It's like Best Friends is one of the best tag teams in the world, and they're barely over 500. You know what I mean? Lucha Brothers is one of the best tag teams in the world, if not the best tag team in the world. And I don't know. I think like UFC, and especially boxing, they got to pad those records. Maybe that's what they should do with Dark. Maybe they should have like comedy guys. I don't know what they should do, or bring in local guys every now and then. But overall, I thought the match was beyond amazing. The Orange Cassidy stuff, it got me, but it's just, yeah. I don't know. It's not my cup of tea, but I understand why people enjoy it. And I'm really excited for Lucha Brothers. I just think they need tag teams to put these. You got to pad those records because I love everything about it. But
Yeah,
it's
this is
like
where
main
like
event
the
5-5 versus 5-5. I'm just being sarcastic here, but it's like, all right, go ahead, Booms.
well, this is kind of like the double-edged sword of AEW keeping track of records. It's good because they mean something, and it makes sense why people get, championship opportunities. It, shows, kind of the success. If they're succeeding, it really reflects. But if they're struggling, it really shows. And it's like you just said, it's like, oh, best friends, and we know it's not this, but okay, the best friends, they're a really good tag team, but they're only 5-5. But that's also real sports. I mean, just taking for example the NFL, there are teams that are above 500, there are teams that ride at 500, and then there are teams that are way below 500. And even those teams, sometimes those teams that are just a little below 500 aren't really all that bad. It's just they just haven't had luck there, or they've been beaten by just superior teams. So
Maybe I'm just thinking too much boxing. You know what I
well,
mean?
and here's another thing. I didn't think they were going to do this, but this might be. I don't know. I don't think we talked about this last time. Is why not introduce like a trios title? And then that way you would get a lot of these three-man team, like Best Friends,
I
like
mean,
the Death
it worked
Triangle.
one. It worked wonders for New Japan. Sorry, Booms. Go on.
But I'm thinking more like Lucha Underground,
Oh, I
you
missed
know,
Lucha
and
Underground. You made me sad. Thanks.
with the trios title, and then that would what would happen then is you would get people like Best Friends, Death Triangle, any combination of the Elite, any combination of the Inner Circle, any combination of the Dark Order. You would get them on separately, and then you would have people who were just tag teams, like Hybrid 2 or Private Party. You would take, that would open up opportunities for them. I mean, it's just a thought. But
And
anyway,
I,
after
I I like your thought. I just want to add on to your thought. And then on the graphics, like the 3-man teams and the tag teams should have a wonderful record in team tournament. So when they come out in the graphics, they only show the tag team titles. And then individually, they should be like, oh, fucking, we can't win without our partners. You know what I mean? And then when they come up, don't show their graphics. Because even sports that use real stats and real that, let's take the UFC, let's take the NFL, let's take the NBA, any real sport during the presentation, they're going to show the best stats. So let's just take, I don't know. I'm trying to think of someone who's in a tag team. Let's take Trent Beretta, okay? Trent
Mhm.
Beretta, when he comes out, let's say his tag team is 10-1, but he's like 1-11 in singles competition. Well, a real sport would show he's 10-1 and not the other stat. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So maybe that could work. I don't know. We're just pitching here. Basically, this match was fucking awesome. We have to find something to pick about it.
Yeah. Immediately after their loss, the Best Friends uh, get interviewed by Tony Schiavone, and they're saying, okay, if you want to get rough, you want to play it like that, that's fine. You know what? Next time we have this, you know what? Let's meet out in the parking lot. Let's fight in the parking lot. I don't think he went as far as to say have a street fight, but for practical purposes, if you're going to be fighting in a parking lot, it's a street fight. So, and here's another thing I think that needs to be brought up is they never said next week. They always said on the next Impact.
You
So
mean
and it
next
was confirmed
Dynamite there, champ. But
or,
yeah,
sorry, my mind's going elsewhere. I apologize, but the next Dynamite, the next Dynamite that they hold, and this got made later on in the show. It was official that there would be a fight in the parking lot between Best Friends and the Lucha Bros.
yeah. Well, my thing is too. Like, I wonder how many. Because like, here's the thing. It's bringing back the magic. Like WWE, WrestleMania. How many of those matches you think are going to be live? I think they're going to pre-tape a lot of shit and just pretend it's live. Like, I wonder how many Dynamites they've had taped. Because like if they're there, you don't know if they're coming back next week. Hey, dude, fucking rest up, ice up. You're going to be out in 10 minutes. We're recording. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
I find it to be interesting. It kind of reminds me of the house show days, where like you're like, oh man, I don't know. I find it interesting because you got to remember wrestling when we're older. Wrestling wasn't always live on television. There was a time where it was all pre-recorded, and yeah, I kind of have that feel again because I don't think the Goldberg. This is my conspiracy theory hat. I don't think the Goldberg match at Mania is going to be live. I don't think these matches are going to be live, but if it's a better product, who cares? And here's the thing, if spoilers get out, it's definitely someone in your company, you know what I mean? So, yeah, overall, I really enjoyed the match. It was fun, and the camera angle and the fake audience helped out a lot. Or not the fake audience, but the wrestlers' audience.
Hmm.
All right, Booms,
And,
let's go.
yeah, now that you mention it, that would be a good idea. Go ahead and pre-tape it. And one of the good things about taping all this stuff, you can edit that, or you can do retakes. You can and put something together really well. And it's if there's no fans there, I mean, there's not supposed to be any fans there, so I think you could get around a lot of things. Only thing is, I hope they don't have like the King of the Road editing errors where it went from day to night, night to day.
Oh, yeah. And also, too, like, did you see WWE? I don't mean to kick them while they're down, but fuck them. Um, they forgot about the international audience, and when they went to commercial, they stopped wrestling and talked to each other about the next spot.
Oh my God.
Good shit. All right, let's get to the women's match because I think this is the
Yeah,
division that
women's
needs to be
match.
helped the most or rebuilt the
You
most.
know, yeah, that is true, but I think this was a good match. You had Chris Shida versus Riho versus Chris Statlander versus Penelope Ford. Um, but I think there was like maybe like a little minor botch in here, but nothing too terribly. So I think it was between I think it was Statlander and Ford. I think they missed like a rod or something and just went ahead and Statlander was like fuck it and just went with it anyway. Um, Hikaru Shida, I like a lot. Riho, God bless her. Is she stuck here in the United States? I'm not sure because I know she primarily wrestles for Stardom, and I know they're not running shows, so it makes sense if she wanted to keep wrestling and getting paid, she stay over here. But I just kind of cringe to think that she may be stuck here in the United States right now with all this going on. There's
Uh,
no guarantee if and when she could get back home.
I'm an American living in Japan, and I have heard nothing about travel being canceled.
Okay.
I didn't try to travel myself. I'm just saying if that was a thing, I think it would be a bigger news here in Japan and America.
Yeah,
Um,
I know travel was banned to China, and I know travel was banned over to Europe. At least from where I'm at, here in the United States. I know that's a thing. I just am not sure if they were had either cut or restricted flights to Japan as well.
no, I don't think so. I think they're good to go. Let me see. Yeah, so overall, I like Stratlander. I just don't like the gimmick. Riho, I've been a Riho fan for a while, and Riho, she's small, and people knock her for that, but I think she's pulling a Kenny Omega, where the American and the AEW audience haven't seen how great she is. Penelope Ford, I'm very uneducated on, so maybe Boom Boom can fill in the blanks there. Um,
I don't know more about her other than it's Joey Janela's ex-girlfriend, but I will say this: some people kind of gave her some flack, but judging by her last couple of matches, she's actually pretty competent in the ring. I think she's been doing a pretty good job, and I think she's kind of a breath of fresh air to that division. They needed I mean, I don't think she's like a superstar, don't get me, or a megastar, excuse me,
but it's
but
a
I
it's a
think
piece
she
they need.
yeah, but I think, yeah, absolutely. I think she's better than what she's getting credit for. I think she's done an amazing job so far. This match I think, was pretty good for her.
Yeah, and not only that, but I didn't watch Dark, but the announce
Hmm.
team made a fun. A, the announce team did a great job, and I'll shit on the announce team and praise them. I'm that type of guy. They did an outstanding job of me feeling guilty that I didn't watch Dark, because usually I watch Dark all the time and I didn't. And they
Hmm.
did a great job of making Penelope Ford seem like a huge upset over Riho. They did a great job putting that over. And Shida is fucking amazing. Don't sleep on her. Don't sleep on her, boys. Or maybe, I don't know. Bad sex joke
No,
inserted
no, no,
here, but she's
no.
awesome.
That was that. No, no. Don't sleep on. You can sleep with her. You would love to do that, but you can't sleep on her.
Bump, ba-da-dum,
Okay, I just
bump.
took that joke and ran that into the ground. Okay, thank you very much. These bad jokes brought to you by Wrestle AM.
Well, the funny thing
Uh,
is, because to make this sound better, I'm trying to mute me. So like, I feel bad because like sometimes you deliver jokes and it's like an empty arena. I'm like, mute so that I can laugh?
yeah, Johnny Muke can just laugh at that. No, but I loved it. There was constant action in the ring. They would have a couple of girls in the ring, and it kind of felt formulaic because they would get to a point where there would just be two, then those two would go out, and two more would go in. They'd switch up the partners a little bit. They would even be like a 2-on-1 scenario. Um, there were some near falls where then somebody would come to make the save at the last second. I love that Poison Rana by Penelope Ford. She hit the Falcon Arrow. That only got a 2 count, but then she came off the ropes and just popped her with that knee strike, and Hikaru Shida gets the win. She pins Penelope Ford, wins the match. There was I really enjoyed the match. I think maybe AEW needs to kind of stick with this formula because you had four really good, talented women. They were limited in what they did. But what they did was done really well. Everybody got a chance to shine. Everybody got a chance to showcase. It was fast paced. It was very entertaining. There were no, I mean, yeah, there was like some minor botches, but it's better than like one long like 5 minute awkward match between two women.
No, I enjoyed it a lot, and I think this match to me, because right now I think the women's division is the weakest link, and this match gave us hope, and I
Mhm.
think that's an important
Can
thing.
I just say something about about the women's division here, and particularly like the criticisms of Riho. There's a lot of people who gave Riho a lot of flack. Oh, well, she doesn't have a personality. Oh, she's only 98 pounds. Can I just tell those people, go fuck yourself. Seriously, go fuck yourself. AEW got hit right out of the gate with that because Awesome Kong was not cleared to wrestle. So they needed to do something. They had to find their best wrestler, which happened to be Riho, who, in my opinion, just really had to carry that little girl. And I say that with all due respect. I say that in her stature. I don't mean that as a pejorative there. Had to carry that entire division by herself because she was the best wrestler. And it did not help that she was small in stature and had a low body weight, and it did not help the fact that she, as far as I know, does not know English. It did not help, but I think she did the best job, with under the circumstances, and they needed somebody to really carry that division, and she stepped up. And
I'm gonna give you the first Lee Corso that we've had in a while since the comeback.
mhm,
Not so fast, my fellow friends. Riho is an amazing athlete. This ain't on Riho. This isn't on the fans. This is all booking. They didn't
oh
do
yeah,
anything to protect her. They didn't do anything to fucking make her shine. They didn't. So I do not want to point the finger at the fans because I don't want to be a WWF podcaster. And I definitely don't want to point the fingers at Riho. But I am an asshole and I'll point the fingers at my. Oh, I love you, Kenny. I love you. And I'm sorry. This is Kenny Omega fucking shit up. And if he's taking credit for this division, then Jesus Christ, I love you. I love you with all
he
my
needs to
fucking
take the
heart.
blame.
But this is bad. Go ahead, Booms.
Yeah, you know, just I just sorry you kind of derailed my thought there. No, Riho was the best wrestler that they had. They needed somebody to carry the division, to which she did. She did everything to the best of her ability, and to this day, if you say, "Oh, well, she can't work, she's not believable," Jesus Christ, she got Nyla Rose over. Let me tell you something. Look at every other Nyla Rose match outside of Riho; they're not that good. She had a great match with Riho. Riho, I mean, so bumped her ass off for Nyla Rose, and I don't think Nyla Rose is, comparatively speaking, with skills, I don't think is as good as Riho, but yet she's the champion.
Sorry, I was on mute. Yeah, I agree. Um, I don't know. I just blame booking, and Riho is a great athlete, and I feel sad because I feel like she's the female version of Nakamura. If this is the only thing you've seen of them, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? They're better than this. So I hope that they fix it soon. And who knows, maybe they will, you know. And I like the fact that they keep putting her over as a former champ. That's a nice touch. Plus, you know, her and Jericho have something in common. No matter where they go in their career, especially in AEW, they'll always be the first champ, and that's a big deal. That is a big deal. All right, Booms, match 3, sir.
Yeah, right after that, Tony Schiavone interviewed Colt Cabana. He talked about the match, how he enjoyed it, and just said he was just kind of turned off by, Kip Sabian's constant interference, which got him a couple of pops. He got hit a couple of times, including taking a knee to the face for that. Kip Sabian happened to be right there and said, "Oh, well, wait a minute, you talking, you don't tell me you're sitting there talking trash about me." And they kind of said, so they, Cabana slapped Kip Sabian. Looks like they're teasing up a future match here.
And that was
So
one
I think
hell
that
of a
was really good.
slap. It was one hell of a slap, and it was one hell of a segment. And I am a big fan of stuff leading into stuff. Like the match is like this is my favorite type of booking because it led to a match. You know what I mean? Like I love when you watch a pro wrestling show and it smoothly runs into each other. You know, like I have some rules of booking, and maybe I'll do that as a show. But this was top tier booking. You know, the match is over. Get to Colt Cabana. Colt Cabana's talking. He overhears them. One fucking hell of a smack. It tells a story. Like, it was just great timing. Wonderfully
Mhm.
produced pro wrestling segment. So I loved it. And this is the Colt Cabana I know and love. He's silly, but he's still tough as fuck. You know?
Mhm.
So I enjoyed it. Good, sir?
Next, there was like an earlier today segment. John Moxley, who was not cleared to compete, was banned from entering the building, and he was going to get back. He's getting back in his car, saying, "You know what? I'm going to keep following around the inner circle here, and I'm going to stay in your blind spot. I may, pop up before you know it." So I think that was pretty decent. Played into. I mean, it just shows that
I,
Moxley's there in Florida.
I just disagree. I thought this segment was a waste. It just seems weird. He's supposed to be like
It
Stone.
may seem. So what you're saying is you kind of think that it was kind of like a throwaway.
I think they just wanted to get the champ on the show and say that the champ didn't no show. You know, they were like, hey,
Hmm.
that's what I think it was. And who knows
That's
how
what it
long ago
could
that was
be.
recorded.
Or it could be just they're dropping a breadcrumb just to go, hey, the champ's still here. We haven't forgotten about him. We haven't forgotten about his feud with the inner circle. So this is a little something something to kind of keep explain why he's not here right now. And he's saying, well, I haven't forgotten, and I'm not going to let this go. So it teases that he could be making another appearance soon.
All right, let's keep it rolling, brother.
All right, more tag action here. We have the Jurassic Express that's being represented by uh, Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy taking on the Butcher and the Blade, but with no Bunny. And I had an enjoyable tag team with this. One of my favorite parts was when MJF was screaming, "I got $200 on you, dinosaur!"
Yeah, I don't know. I thought MJF shared just added so much to the show.
Hmm. Good guy, good guys cheering the good guys, bad guys, cheering on the bad guys. I like the exchange between the Butcher and Jurassic and excuse me, Luchasaurus. Those two were they went to the floor. Luchasaurus gets the hot tag, comes in, runs wild on the heels. Um, had a MJF was calling for full death, and Luchasaurus hit the tail whip. They hit that. I don't know what you would call it. It was kind of like that. It was like a kind of like a magic killer. They hoisted him up and dropped him down into a cutter. But Jurassic Express got the ending. Oh yeah, yeah, I know what happened. Well, it was kind of odd. It was kind of like a non-dive. It was they hit that finisher. I think it was on the Blade, and then Jungle Boy was supposed to do a dive to the outside to cut off the Butcher, but it's like he
The butcher forgot to
went
get
back
up.
off. Yeah, he went back off the rope, and it's like he was about to trip over the Blade, so he just kind of stopped, hopped over him, went to the outside, kind of cut and just kind of did like a half-ass dive to the outside. But other than that, I mean, it was a good match. I really like, they were playing it up, 'cause Jungle Boy was, the small guy, so he was isolated for most of the match. He makes the hot tag to Luchasaurus. He starts running wild. They starts exchanging blows. Eventually, the good guys, they take it to the outside, make it. The good guys get the win. So, other than that one little, and it was like a minor botch. I mean, it wasn't even involved with the active participants. It was supposed to be, one of those New Japan, bounce off the ropes, make sure you cut off the non-legal man so he doesn't break up the pin, and it just felt a little, yeah. But other than that, no,
Yeah,
it was a good
but I thought
match.
the announcers did a great job covering it, and I thought it was kind of cute. Like it's a cute, safe botch. You know what I mean? It's not like anyone got
Mhm.
hurt. It's just a cute, safe botch. Someone just
Thank
forgot to get up.
God. Thank God nobody got hurt.
Um, Booms. I'm gonna change topics here. A entertaining
Mhm.
tag team match. You know me. I like fucking the Kurt Angles, the CM Punks, the Ring of Honors, the New Japan, the Okadas.
Mhm.
Just pro wrestling at its highest level. And gimmick stuff, it's hit or miss. And I am in love with Jurassic Express and despise Butcher and the Blade. And not despise them like, ooh, they're heels. Just, oh, fuck, is their segment over? I don't know. Is it weird that they're both going to sports entertainment route and one in my eyes is hitting a home run and the other is the Butcher and the Blade?
Is because Butcher in the baby? Is it just because it's kind of like a stereotypical gimmick?
Maybe. Maybe it's their entrance. Maybe it's because they haven't impressed me yet. But it's just, I see the Butcher and the Blade and I don't, I mean this as an insult. I was about to say I don't mean this as an insult, but I definitely mean it as an insult. It reminds me of Kane. Some people like
Mhm.
him, but I am not paying attention to him. You know what I mean? Where Jurassic
Mhm.
Express, they got a funny gimmick, and I find it fucking hilarious and I'm entertained. I don't know. I just think they're two teams in the same boat, like in the same genre, sports entertainment tag teams, and one is hitting a home run and the other is butchering the blade. And I don't know if everyone else shares that opinion, and I don't know why I have that opinion. I just thrown it out there. Your thoughts?
Well, I mean, I would definitely say that Butcher and Blade, with the exception. I would probably not say the bunny like that. Just have her not be bring out the bunny, but don't have her be the bunny. I think would fit in well in the 1980s. That kind of gimmick would
I'm
would
thinking
work.
maybe early 80s, WWF 80s, not yeah,
Mhm.
WWF 80s.
'Cause I mean, it's two big guys, and that's another thing. I think this is a criticism. This is kind of a criticism of AEW. They've got a lot of, quote unquote, dark gimmicks. They've had a little
Well,
over.
they're
They've been a
dropping
little
some.
over.
Thank God they dropped the Rhodes one, Brandy Rhodes one.
Yeah, the Nightmare Collective. And I finally, once I got the explanation behind that, I was like, oh, okay, I get it now. Thank you for being more transparent about that. Okay, now I get what's going on. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, well, hopefully they either have to make one big dark universe faction or like just get rid of the others.
Yeah, you just
Um,
can't have everybody be dark because to me it comes off like a backyard wrestling promotion where everybody wanted to be like the dark, brooding goth guy that wore all the black, the crucifix, the eyeliner, the really
are you
jet
talking
black
about
hair
Indy,
comes
Florida and
down.
wrestling booms? Jesus Christ, don't
Yeah.
shoot on brother.
They wanted to wear the trench coat, and all. I mean, it's just like, yeah, that's fine if somebody, one guy does it, maybe two if they're a tag team, but if everybody does it, it's just like, okay, you're not cool. You don't stand out. It looks like, it's 10 people with the same gimmick that have nothing to do with each other.
Yeah. Well, we've been there before. But speaking of
Hmm.
dark ones and saving a fucking thing that absolutely went to shit, I legit popped for the next segment. A,
Yeah.
the way they teased it and booked it, and B, the way it was delivered. Dude, I haven't fucking popped for a storyline in forever. Booms, explain the storyline that fucking made me feel like a little boy again, cheering for the pro wrestling.
Well, the Dark Order has been teasing the revelation of the Exalted One. And they've been teasing it, been teasing it, and they even tried to bring Christopher Daniels into the fold. Daniels said no. Hell, there was even a tease one time that Christopher Daniels might actually be the Exalted One, to which, that one was finally, they finally did away with that. And then there was like a short list of who's the Exalted One, who is it, and Evil Uno, he's there flanked by his brother Stu Grayson. I don't know if are they legitimately brothers?
I don't give a
I know
shit.
there's, I know,
I mean,
no,
I love
I'm just
Jakara,
saying.
but I can only take so much of it. Go on.
Because I know they were the Super Smash Brothers in Chikara together, but I
Oh,
don't know if
dude,
they
I
were
love the
legitimately
Super Smash
brothers or
Brothers.
kayfabe brothers. But anyway, I'm sorry. Daniels, who happened to be right at the ringside, grabbed the mic and said, "You know what? Just stop. I know you're lying about this. There is no Exalted One. You know, you haven't named him because there isn't one. Stop wasting our time. We're so sick of this. We're so sick of your lies. Just stop it already." And then then video started playing, and it showed like a hooded figure, talking about he was the Exalted One, and then finally they revealed it to be Brodie Lee, the former Luke Harper, and he just said that, you know, my name is Brodie Lee. I'm the Exalted One. You're not the first out of touch, and I love this line, by the way. You you're not the first out of touch old man to not believe in me, but I promise you, you will be the last. And then the
Nice.
video segment ends. The Exalted One was directly behind Kazarian and Daniels. They attack, and there's a big melee. So, congratulations to Brodie Lee for finally making the jump. I love how we kind of teased Sister Abigail on Daniels, but then went into that discus clothesline. Excuse me. The only thing I kind of didn't like, I thought it was a little ridiculous, was the fact that, you know, while Daniels is distracted, he never heard or saw the Exalted One come in the ring. None of the good guys were like, "Daniels, look out behind you, something's up, man." That was just, if you're like in a whole arena, nobody else is out there, I can maybe understand that. This is just a nitpick. I know it's a nitpick. I know it's kind of childish, but it was just like, um, like, okay, there I am. I'm watching ringside, and this is my company here. There's one of my friends up there. He's going through something, and then all of a sudden, this other big guy that I don't know, kayfabe wise, is coming into the ring. I'm like, Daniels, turn around, man, something's up. And
Yeah.
Daniels, and if somebody did shout it, nobody heard anything.
Overall, I really enjoyed it. I mean, yeah, he's sneaky. He's got magic. Poof, he's in the ring. Um,
Okay.
I mean, if we're gonna fucking be far-fetched magic bullshit, you know how I hate it, but fuck it. That's what it is. He's magic. Um, A, Christopher Daniels hit a fucking home run. B, fucking player Uno fucking cut a huge promo. I don't know if he's player. I'm 92% sure he's player Uno. Please correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. The promo, look into my eyes, zoom in. I thought that was great. The fact is, they had three big guys coming into AEW, and the internet leaked it out. Good, bad, or whatever. It's the fucking age we live in. And you didn't know where the three were going to go. We knew one of them was going to be the Exalted One. We knew one was going to, I guess, be with Jake. I don't know. We didn't know it was going to be Jake, but we knew, well, yeah, we did know it was Jake because of the promo. So someone was going to be with Jake, someone was going to be the Exalted One, and then there's the third one that was going to be left out. And I love the
And then
fact
there
that
was
you didn't
probably, and
know.
plus there was a couple more on the list that have they really signed? Are they really going to do something? Could it be them? You
Yeah.
know, that was also on the table. It's like, oh, are they doing this to misdirect us from somebody they may have signed in secret, or maybe somebody who's made some kind of special deal to come in? There was always that too, but we kind of knew who it was going to be, but we didn't know who it was going to be.
See,
And I'm looking.
I feel like I knew the three guys were going to be in three different parts. I didn't know where they were going to put the parts, and they mixed and
Mhm,
matched. And I love the fact that they waited on the other surprise, because waiting on the other surprise made this surprise so much better. You know what I mean?
mhm,
Um,
mhm.
I don't know. I haven't popped for a storyline outside of Lucha Underground or New Japan in a probably really long time. And especially one of these more sports entertainment storylines. Usually it's like,
Mhm.
I'm the greatest wrestler in the world, and I'm the greatest wrestler in the world. Let's have a fucking match. And I'm like, fuck yeah. But this is more sports entertainment, and it fucking popped me. I was so fucking happy. I enjoyed it tremendously. And not only that, but A, he's a great wrestler that, not everyone has seen his true potential. B,
Mm.
they fucking had shit and they changed it around and fixed it. So I honestly think they're doing a great fucking job booking wise right now. And to
Mm.
me, fucking to pop a grumpy old man who complains about fucking clouds and wrestling, you're doing a great job. I enjoyed this
Yeah.
tremendously.
All right. Let me ask this question: did this just save the Dark Order?
Yeah. Well, I think the Dark Order was dead. The promo about joining us helped. Then it
Mm-hmm.
almost died, and then it saved. You know what I mean? They can't have a lot of people. Just have Uno's fucking brother, and this guy, and then you know what I mean. That's it. And then just have him fucking dominate. Because if you have him dominate and then Uno cover the match, and then the other guy just fucking he's there, I think I think that's awesome. I really fucking enjoyed this, and I think the potential and the stunks are through the roof. All right, you want to talk main event, or do you want to say how awesome Brodie Lee is for the next
Yeah,
12
well,
minutes?
we gotta keep going. There's a couple more things we need to hype up here. Is that Tony tried to interview Lance Archer next, but Jake Roberts cut him off. Said, you know what, he's not here to talk. We feel completely disrespected by Cody. He's not answered our challenge. Now I understand that it's smart to kind of keep your distance, but you've completely ignored us. That's like spitting in our face. I had to come out here and I had to listen to you and your friends bitch about losing. So you know what? We're going to do something about this, and you're going to meet this, and you just made this personal. And we're going to get your attention. So I'm thinking Lance Archer gets involved and somehow at Blood and Guts if and when it happens. So I love that. And then they went to a video package where Archer had like this basically like this open challenge, and so it was like a ring set up in somebody's backyard out in the middle of the boonies, and then he walks in the ring and he just starts beating the crap out of like 20 people, and
Can I just say
just
something? The promo
yeah.
by Jake was amazing, and then the video package. I mean this as a compliment. It was
Hmm.
so stupid and so amazing at the same time. I loved it. It reminded me
I
of like
love
the
it.
cheesy part of Lucha Underground.
Two things I loved about that was one, the trailer trash lady who was carrying around the cards, and two, the midget, and I say that with all love and affection, no offense to our little friends. Basically, they like the carnival marker on that one. I absolutely love that. Beat the crap out of everybody. That one guy's like, I can still take you, and he just beat the crap out of him, bounced his head off the hood of a car. I just think that was just really well done. I've met Lance Archer before, and he, you know, behind the scenes, he's a really nice guy behind the scenes. And one things when I first started doing wrestling radio, he was one of the guys I interviewed, and one of the things I joked with him about is, it's like, well, I was kind of joking with him because this is back when he had the tramp stamp. Now he's got it kind of covered up now, but he's like, yeah, yeah, I got it, but nobody ever says anything about it to my face.
Yeah, he many versions of this show a long time ago. He was
Hmm.
on. He was a regular guest on the show. So much love to him, and I'm glad he's getting to shine.
Yeah, I'm glad, man. Well, I mean, the guy's like what 40, 41?
I don't know. I don't know, but
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
he's close
he's
to his last ride.
and I'm just and it's one of those. It would have been easy for him to hang it up, and it would have been easy for him to just go, well, I kind of had an okay career, but it's kind of weird. But he's finally coming into his own. I mean, he's
Yeah,
coming off one hell of a G1 run from last year. Now this year, he's made a huge comeback, and now he's in AEW, and he's got a pretty decent sized push right now. They got him paired up with Jake Roberts, and plus, here's another thing: I would love to be a fly on the wall back there in the AEW's locker room. I would love to know how many people are coming up to Jake Roberts and being like, "Dude, can you help me with this promo? How do I, just imagine Jake Roberts being like the promo guy, the guy that you ask advice for. How do I cut this promo? How do I get this particular angle over? How do I vocalize? Can you imagine what that would sound like backstage?"
Yeah, it would help you out tremendously. Hopefully, the wrestlers are taking advantage of it. It's
Hmm.
like Dusty Rhodes could cut amazing promo, and he could cut amazing promo, but they're completely different. Yeah, he's the fucking best. Jake's a great guy, and I'm glad to see him back on his feet, and glad to see managers. I love the managers. I love Tully. I love Aaron. I love Jake. I don't know. It's just like AEW's doing right now. It might change because we've seen a lot of fucking people do the right thing and then it falls apart. But right now, I
Hmm.
really feel confident they're doing the right thing, and it feels good to watch them.
Well, next they talked about now again. This is they said on the next Dynamite, not next week, because they may or may have they may not. I mean, right now we have. I know there's been like a national state of emergency. I know various states have declared states of emergency. I know out in I think it's in California, all non-essential businesses have been ordered to close. So out here where I'm at in Virginia, not everything is shut down. Like all events are canceled, but restaurants are like takeout or delivery only. They're asking people to, outside of a home, avoid gatherings of 10 or more people. So this the next Dynamite just could actually get shut down because I don't know what it's like in Florida, but if Florida is declared like a state of emergency, even if it is voluntary, depends on how serious they want to crack down on this. There may not be a Dynamite next week because of everything going on. So they're saying the next Dynamite that we have, we're going to have Wardlow versus Luchasaurus in a lumberjack match. We're going to have Blood and Guts, and then we're going to have the Best Friends versus the Lucha Brothers in a street fight. And that's
I'm just
what's
hoping these companies are being smart and recording as many matches as they can right now. That's what I'm
Mhm.
hoping.
I believe they actually did that. They did record Dynamite before some dark matches or something, so they may have some content at least put up on the web or put on the show just to kind of have something. I think they've got, but I believe they do have stuff in.
Man, I'd be like, let's do fucking 4 shows of Dynamite right now. That's it. Let's just do it. Like like they're like, I challenge you next week, and they go in the tunnel. And when they go in the tunnel, it's just in the parking lot. Like, okay, let's get this out of the way, boys. Let's talk main event, brother.
Hmm. In the event, you've got the Inner Circle being represented by Santana Ortiz and Jake Hager versus the Elite being represented by Kenny Omega, Matt Jackson, and Hangman Page. The winner here gets the advantage on Blood and Guts after so it's like old school, war games. I thought it was a pretty entertaining match. I did think the line was on Chris Jericho said that Arn Anderson had a Waffle House menu, and Sammy Guevara trying to sing Judas.
Yeah, the entertainment was great. Jericho hit a home run out of the park. It was just
Mhm.
absolutely amazing. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Go on.
Um, a good back and forth match. They had some decent exchanges. That they did make it clear that shit. Nick Jackson would be out. He's out indefinitely because he got hurt when the inner circle attacked him and dropped the
Dude,
garage door on him.
I
He's out,
love
so they're going to be down a man. So they need to because they were pressing the elite kind of needed this advantage here because they're already at a disadvantage out the gate.
I I
So
I
mhm.
love the storyline, but my favorite is that the inner circle and Chris Jericho denies doing anything. I don't know why. It just adds so much entertainment to the heels.
Mhm.
He's like, "Oh, we tried to lift." You know what I mean? He's like denying that he
Oh,
did
that,
it. I
that
don't know.
makes
I
sense.
love that.
I love how he's always like Santana, Ortiz. They don't have last names. They don't need first names. I thought that was just absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, Jericho hit home
Uh,
run after home run.
yeah. Anyway, everybody got a chance to shine. Cody was making a comeback. He hit a plancha. Ortiz managed to make the save. Cody dove to the tossed out Ortiz into MJF. Matt blind tagged in. Uh, Matt was hitting his Northern Light suplexes. Page was helping him take out Hager. He cut off the Indie Taker, and Santana ended up cradling Matt Jackson, so the Inner Circle wins. They got so the Inner Circle gets the one-man advantage, and afterwards, Jericho, they all celebrate, and he was like, you know what? From now on, no fans are allowed back here at AEW till I say so. Um, Sammy was up there posing. They're saying they're united. They won't, they can't lose. And plus, not only did we have the advantage, going into Blood and Guts, we've also got, oh, there's five of us here. There's only four of you, so we already got that advantage. And then Matt said, no, I made a phone call to someone who owed me a favor. And then next thing we know, a little drone comes and lands in the ring. That turns out to be Vanguard 1. And then the person he was referring to who owed him a favor up there perched up on high above the arena was Broken Matt Hardy. So they've got their fifth man. So I can only imagine what that pop would have been like had, been like a full crowd there. So it looks like we're going to have Inner Circle versus the Elite now with the addition of Broken Matt Hardy.
I really like this. First off, crazy fucking thing. Dude, how fucking annoying is drones? That sound? Dude, I was just like, dude, I'll pay you $20 fucking right now if we just shut that fucking noise off. Second off, the audience there would have been huge. Third off, I'm not a big fan of the Hardys, but that was well done. Well done. I also like the fact that the heels keep getting advantage. And dude, how fucking amazing was Chris Jericho's acting on that stage? That was fucking beyond. It just like legit. He was scared, had fucking almost tears in his eyes. You know what I mean? It was Jericho. I tip my hat off to you, brother. Fucking amazing job. But yeah, I loved it. Like I said, the Hardys ain't my cup of tea, but that was fucking done well. So overall, we give it a huge win. Booms, we just hit an hour mark. Is there any last statements you want to say? And then we'll plug some stuff and wrap this bad boy up.
I want to say I enjoyed the show. I look forward to seeing. I want to see how the fans respond to this once all this entire ordeal is over with. I really want to see how that, how the fans respond, how the company recovers or bounce back from this, or if they can bounce back from this. I want to tell everybody out there, take care of yourselves. I know this kind of sucks, but we're all going to get through this together. This is just a temporary thing. We're just trying to, you know, even though some of us, if we catch, whatever it is going around, it may not kill us. It could kill other people. And the reason why we're doing what we're doing is to kind of slow things down, to kind of give us a fighting chance to maybe, trying to avoid overwhelming our healthcare system because, hospitals have only got so many beds. They've only got so much equipment. And if it just means us, just chilling at the house for a few weeks to make sure that they don't get overwhelmed. So, our grandparents have a chance at, getting through this because they're the ones really at risk. I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to do that. And, maybe this is going to be a good opportunity to kind of, connect with friends. I would just recommend everybody, call your friends, call your family members, just check in and just say, hey, hey, how you doing? Do you need anything? And again, this is an excuse to, maybe read that book you've been putting off, clean out the garage, because you've been putting it off, go watch that TV series that you've been putting off, just little bitty things. And plus, I hope it, and it's caused me to do this, kind of reprioritize, things in your life, kind of take a look at what's really important in your life and maybe, reassess that and maybe make some, vows going forward. And we're all tough. We're gonna get through this. And I want to thank AEW for running this show because I didn't, like I said at the beginning of the show, I didn't realize how much I really needed this until it actually hit the air. And just these little bitty things that people are doing online, all these creators of all this various content, video games, movie reviews, commentary, singing, people who are reading stories online, God bless you. We really need this. So, support these guys and take care of each other, and we're going to be fine. Everything is going to be okay. I
Love
know
you, Boom Boom. I got
I hated to bring. I hope I didn't bring it down too much, but that's my thoughts.
no problem, man. I just want to say I love you, and yeah, I fucking been saying this for years. Escapism is very fucking important, especially during hard times. And I want to thank AEW, and yeah, and I want to thank people that also watch us. I mean, if it's great because like creating stuff is also escapism. Talking, having fun, talking wrestling, streaming video games, writing books. It's fun to create escapism, and it's also fun to take in escapism. And I think when stuff gets so serious, we forget that, and AEW and anyone creating and making stuff during these hard times, and just in general, I think it just makes life better. I always get angry when people talk down about different escapisms. Like, oh my God, I can't believe you play video games. Oh my God, I can't believe you like pro wrestling. Life is fucking hard. Let people enjoy stuff. And if you're risking your own health to make stuff, or putting tons of time and effort into making stuff, fucking that's awesome, man. And that's what life should be about. And yeah, this got pretty fucking deep for an AEW review. So overall,
Yeah, dude.
I give it a big fucking win. Me and Boom Boom will try to check in more. I'm doing tons of stuff. Operation Freak Show still out in the market. We're hoping to get some more books out there. Just publishing, and it's a nightmare. Yeah, and I'm always streaming on Twitch, and it's fun, dude. It's fun, man. It's fun to make escapism. It's fun to fucking take in escapism. And during hard times and during regular times, I think human beings take that for granted. But yeah, AEW, thank you. And we'll probably review more Booms. I don't know. Booms, we'll have to figure out the schedule. Booms, I love you with all my heart. Send me a title for this, and I'm going to put it up on YouTube right away. And hopefully we can do more stuff together. Shout out to Wrestling Rantin' on YouTube for making content. Shout out to Rick1982, who's streaming on Twitch about my character that I made, Sexy Yama Handsome. And check me out on Twitch. Did I say that enough? I don't think I have. Oh, God, I'm in love with Twitch, dude. I got a Twitch problem. Booms. Twitch problem, Booms. All right, Booms. Love you. With that, I am over.